Hello and welcome to today's Speedbuild. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. Now today we have a very exciting and also a very long Speedbuild, so please relax, sit back, maybe get yourself a snack or a drink or just something, and yeah, just enjoy this speed build because this is a long one and I'm super excited to share it with you guys. So today I decided that I wanted to build something based off of a show that I really like, and that show being, of course, Snowpiercer. Now, I don't know if you guys are caught up with the newest season. If not, please be aware that there's going to be like mild spoilers, so just keep that in mind. You probably know that based on what I am building, but I just thought I would let you know. So I decided to build New Eden. Now, New Eden, if you have not seen the show, the place that this show takes place is actually on a train, and the train is being moved by perpetual motion. And what happened was they pretty much tried to fix the world, and in doing so they created a freeze, and that resulted in the whole world being covered in ice and snow and being too cold to actually be able to live on. Inhabitable and they can't live on it, essentially. So what ended up happening in the new season is that they ended up making it here, and this place is called New Eden, and New Eden is in the Horn of Africa, and it is pretty much a place that is warm enough to which they can be outside and they don't have to be perpetually moving around the earth like they do normally. Sorry if that's a really bad explanation. I feel like it that's kind of the gist behind it. But yeah, so I am essentially building the Horn of Africa, New Eden, which is where they end up setting up base, and yeah, this is where they build their little community and they end up living. Now, not everyone on the train ends up living here. Only less than half, I believe, I think it was 500 people went to New Eden, and so that is what I am building for today. Now, the size of New Eden is quite big, and so I did not build the whole of it. This is only a small portion of New Eden. I think it's just over half actually, but yeah, I tried to build all the main things and I tried to build it as exact as I could. Now, you will see a lot of tweaking. For example, with that building in the middle that's on a diagonal, as I watched the show progress, I realised that it actually is not on a diagonal, and I ended up moving it around. And just little things like that, I end up swiveling things around, changing colours, changing wall heights, things like that. There's a lot of trial and error with this build, and I felt like it was very essential because of what it is. It kind of had to be as exact as possible. Now, I will just say right now, in terms of the inside, it's fully decorated, which I'm super excited to get onto eventually, but they will not be exact just because I could not find any reference photos online. I was basing this all off of what I'd seen, maybe some screenshots I'd taken from the show itself, but I didn't have any reference photos to go off of, except for I did look up the season 4 trailer and I kind of had to look at that and try to pause it at certain points, but I'm sure you only see 2 parts of New Eden, so it was kind of difficult. But anyway, so not everything on the inside is going to be exact, but I think it's close enough. I tried to make it as close as possible. Now, I'm just going to let you guys know right now what this kind of build involves, because I feel like that's important. So I have got the community area, which is the council, and that is where all the decisions are made. That's where any announcements happen, and essentially people gather there and they listen to the upcoming announcements. So I've got that's built on the from here, the right side, that carriage on that car on the right side ends up being the council area, on the left side now. But yeah, so that's what that ends up being. This one in the middle that I've been working on, that ends up being a little cafe, but I actually end up separating the back because I realized as I watched the show progress that that is how it's laid out. It wasn't laid out initially how I thought, which is really interesting. It's cool to see how they did it, but you can see me separating it right now. And then the little building next to that, I ended up making it like a place where they can buy, well, not buy because they don't have like a currency as such, but they can get clothes, any like warm jackets and stuff that they might want. I thought that was very nice. And then in the other car, like the other very big car, I ended up putting a like hospital area. I ended up putting a school. I love doing that. Definitely Snowpiercer inspired. The first time I ever added a school to a building was inspired by Snowpiercer, so thank you for that. By the way, if you've not seen the show, you should definitely check it out. I have been really enjoying it so far, and I would love to hear, if you have seen it, like what you think of it, and who your favorite character is, because I would love to know. But also, I also ended up adding the greenhouse. I thought that was a really nice detail to add. I ended up adding like communication rooms, and then also generation rooms, which has like generators for whatever they need, like electricity, which they will of course need a lot of because they need electricity for New Eden to run, just so they have heat and stuff. But yeah, that is essentially the rundown of it. There is also bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. And there's also a chemist. That's something I forgot to mention. One of the buildings ends up being a chemist, and I do add a lot of mountains and stuff to make it a little bit more like the show. But yeah, you'll kind of see me like progress and do different things. I definitely wasn't like just sticking to one area and perfecting it. I was kind of like jumping from bit to bit, trying to get the layout perfect, and then once I did that, I was moving on to the interiors, which I thought was a better way to do it, just so I had like a really nice blueprint and I didn't have to worry about things not adding up. But yeah, this little building that I'm doing right now, I believe that ends up being the bedrooms and bathroom. And yeah, I had so much fun with this build, you guys. I really hope you like it. Now, if we're diving into favorite characters, I am going to let you know. So I would have to say my favorite number one character is definitely Bestil. I had liked her from season 1 on the get-go. I just love her. I feel like she's such an interesting character. I just like her so much. And she's definitely like my number one. Now, something that may be a little bit controversial. I loved LJ's character. Now, I know, okay, she was very psychotic. I know, but I think I just enjoyed like how well she played that role. Like, she was so good at playing that role, and I just couldn't help but like enjoy the character. Every time she was on screen, I was like, this is such a good like way, like she's portrayed this character so well, and I thought it was amazing. Same reason I love Mr. Wilford. Just amazing acting, just so well done. I also really love Melanie and also Alex's characters. I feel like they're just such good characters. I don't know, I just really like them. I'd say they're like top of my list. But yeah, let me know who your favorites are. I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear what you think, especially as the seasons progress, because mine definitely changed from season to season. I should also probably state this is based off of the like TV show. So there's a TV show and then there's also a movie, and I've based this off of the TV show. The movie I have seen, and I honestly thoroughly enjoyed it, like so much. The actors in that did such an amazing job, and I really enjoyed that. That came out way before the show, but yeah, that was amazing. I'm sure it was based off of a book, and so the book then progressed onto the movie, and the movie progressed onto the show, and they were made by the same people, so that's pretty cool. Now, I just want to take this little moment to say that if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you didn't know, I do have an Instagram page. My Instagram is just iHanza YT. There will be a link in the description if you want to check it out, but over there is really good. I post a lot of announcements. If I ever do like shell challenges, I post them all over there. I do some little like room builds as well, and I post them over there. So yeah, please make sure to check that out. I feel like it's a really good place to get like information that maybe you wouldn't see on YouTube as quickly. Sometimes I'll post like my recent builds before I upload them, or yeah, for example, one of the collabs I have recently done, I have got it on my Instagram, but it's yet to be uploaded to YouTube. So yeah, there's things like that you can see over there kind of like exclusively. So yeah, I just thought I would mention it. Also memberships, if you would like to join my little cookie club, please feel free. I would absolutely love to have you. There is lots of amazing perks. You get videos early. You can also get like advice on your builds if you decide to opt for that tier. And yeah, there's lots of like fun things in there. Definitely make sure to check that out if that's something you would be interested in. But yeah, just thought I would mention it. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit about the build. So as you can see right now, I am recoloring the railings to be yellow. Now this is because they are actually yellow in the show, and yeah, that was just like an oversight that I had. So I decided to make them all yellow just so they would match. Also, I know these, like, what are they called, staircases, they do not line up properly right now. I know. I promise you, I do end up fixing them. I can't remember if it's on camera or not. This was a very like big build. It was a lot of like moving things. And so I tried to cut out anything that seemed a little bit repetitive or boring, or was just me pretty much using tool mod too much. So yeah, in terms of that, I don't know if I cut it out, but yeah, I do end up fixing them, so just to keep your mind at ease. But anyway, here you can see it. We are starting off with the market. Now, I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do this, but in Snowpiercer, if you've ever seen it, there's kind of like a little area where they have like this cute little food market, and I'm guessing that's kind of where they get their food. Again, like, they don't really have currencies, so I assume that the people can just take what they like without being greedy. There is jobs within it as well. People have like jobs. So like there's people that work in these little areas, which is really nice. And also I decided to set the weather to be like snowy but not fully snowy. I wanted you to be able to see the flooring in some areas, so you can kind of see that these like little planters are kind of snowy and the lettuce is a little bit snowy and things like that. But I felt like that was okay. It was kind of realistic to what Snowpiercer is, so I felt like that was okay. Now I'm just filling these up with like fruit and veg, and I also end up filling it up with kind of like a little bit of like furniture, a little bit of clutter and stuff. I wanted everything to feel very realistic, like you could walk through here and it would be like the real thing. I add a lot of like extra details at the end because I find that when I build, I kind of have a routine that I do, and I feel like it's annoying the way my routine is, because most people would be like, okay, well, actually, I don't know if this is most people, but this is how I would like to look at it. I'd like to make my builds like, okay, I'm gonna do this area, focus on this area, and then once it's completely done, move on. But I don't do that, so I tend to go to an area, kind of like get the blueprint of what I like, and then do that for each area. And then I like to go in, put in my details, and then kind of move between other areas, and then at the very end I go back over and I like put in any extra details that I feel like I've missed. And I don't know if it's just like out of pure becoming what is the word, like distracted, or like just wanting to move on to the next thing. I don't know if it's just that, or if, I don't know, I think that's honestly the only thing it could be. It could just be that I like to be thorough when I go back over, and sometimes I notice like details that I maybe didn't notice before, but I don't know, I just that's just the way I seem to do it, and I feel like that's okay. By the way, if you see me kind of like flicker my shaders on and off, I do that a lot during this build. I don't know why. I think it's just because there's so much footage, it's maybe more noticeable, or like it was harder to cut out, but I tend to flick between my shaders just to see if you know, how it looks without shaders essentially. But yeah, if you notice that, I try and cut it out, but it's kind of difficult when there's so many, so hopefully it's not too big a deal. Now I'm gonna tell you my favorite part in this whole build. I would probably have to say is maybe the school or the council. Now the council I did, and then I kind of like go back to it and tweak it a little bit more, so you will kind of see a progression in that. Sorry about that. But those are probably my favorite. I also really like the chemist. I felt like that was such a cool thing to add, because people aren't always going to be at the doctor, you know, like if you don't know, there's a doctor from Snowpiercer that came to New Eden, and oh, I love her so much. And she will be like dealing with most of the what is it called, like medical things along with Sarah. But I wanted to do a chemist for people that maybe, you know, need medicine and such, because they do have things like these. If you don't know, like Snowpiercer is very post-apocalyptic in the sense that the whole world population has declined massively. Like there was only what 3,000 people on Snowpiercer, and that was what was known to be the last of humanity. So yeah, literally like humanity was destroyed. But they do have a lot of resources because Snowpiercer was made prior. So Snowpiercer has like, you know, things that they need. It has like a whole food chain on it, you know. Like they have cattle, they have veg, they have plants, they have medicine, they have so many things. They even said that they had like a bee colony, but they unfortunately, like, I think they died, like, it must have been about 4 years ago in the story now, but yeah, they had like a whole bee colony and then they collapsed. But yeah, very interesting. I love the way that they kind of tell the story. I think it's like just so interesting. But anyway, we're moving on to the greenhouse. So as I was saying, they have all of these things because although it's apocalyptic, they were ready, they were prepared for this happening, so they managed to get things in order. And so I tried to make this like a really nice greenhouse. I thought it would be really cool, and yeah, I just designed it the best I could, essentially. I just added a lot of plants. I tried to make it so that it wasn't necessarily functional, but it was just something sort of nice to look at. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you have rathered I put like something like a oh, what is that called, a flower arranging table in here, or do you think it kind of works the way it is? I was trying to go like based off of the show, but obviously it's difficult to do, so I didn't necessarily have to keep to it. I could have added more or less if I wanted to. But here we are finally moving on to the council. As I've been saying, this is like one of my favorite zones. I love the way it looks, and I think this is the most seen part in Snowpiercer. Like if you've seen the show, you see this part a lot. They're in there a lot. There's a lot of like questions being asked, things going on. It's very cool. It's a very like center point, and I love it very much. So I don't actually know if it is this car in the show. I have no idea. But I thought I'm just gonna make it what I think it would be, and I felt like this worked the best. So yeah, if it's wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm hoping it's close enough. But yeah, I first originally put down benches. Now I do end up swapping these out. I ended up putting down like the round school tables instead, which I think I really, really much prefer. The benches were really cool, but even from watching Snowpiercer back, I realized that they had more circular tables. So I thought that was probably better. And I created this little like raised platform, and this is meant to be like this stage almost. This is kind of where they can stand, they can say if they have any concerns. If you don't know, the council, so they make like the decisions. So the council consists of like Leighton, Ruth, what's his name, is it Roche I believe, and then there's a few other people. I think like Javi and Alex are also part of the council. I'm not too sure, but yeah. And then also oh, I forget her name. That's so annoying. But Javi's girlfriend, I love her so much, but I forget her name. That's gonna annoy me. But she is also like wanting to be part of the council, I'm sure. She's in charge of like the food supply, which is really cool. She has like a very important job. But anyway, so they all like work within this area, and so I thought this is a very center point. This is a very important area to do. This is where they all make decisions, they have meetings, they talk about what they want to happen, you know, things like that. I think a lot of people on Snowpiercer were very like discouraged by the fact that it's been a year and they're still living off of the train. They kind of hoped by this time that they would have like houses and such. Well, I know that that is an opinion by Osweiler, but I don't know if that's a widespread opinion. I just remember him saying that, you know, he was kind of unhappy that they were still living off the train. I think Ruth also mentioned that as well. And they were just kind of saying that they hadn't progressed too much. But yeah, so I feel like, you know, that's probably something that, you know, they have the council to encourage people that things are going to be okay. Things are just a bit slow, but, you know, good things take time. That's kind of what I got from it anyway. But yeah, I essentially just added very random things to this room. I didn't really know what to add, but it's very cluttered. I loved doing this so much. Again, I do go back and change them out for round tables, so you will see me do that very soon. I think I like cut to something else and then I cut back here, but yeah, I also added some like sofa, some comfy seating, and yeah, I just tried to make it feel like I think it would feel. Okay, now in terms of like how long this build took me, this honestly took me, I think, recording wise, in terms of like all the footage I had and pieced together, I think it was about 6 hours of footage. And I of course had cropped it down into this like 47 to 50-ish minute video. But I think it actually took me much longer because there was so many things that weren't on camera. There was a lot of like tweaking with even just weather settings, tweaking with like little details that I maybe didn't like at first, and just even just like planning what I wanted to do. So yeah, this build took a very long time. I have been building this since like the first episode of the new season of Snowpiercer came out, so it's been weeks and weeks. But if you don't know, I think the newest episode's 7-ish, something like that, 6, 7. So yeah, it's been quite a few weeks, but I really wanted this to be nice and I didn't want to rush it, so I'm really hoping that you guys like it. Also, I just want to say, if you can hear like any creaking from my chair, I'm sorry. It likes to creak, you know, that's what it does. It likes to get my attention. But anyway, as you can see, so I just did the like generator room. So that room is for like power generation. Now this room is a room that I believe is seen in the show, and it's when Javi is talking about a dismembered limb that he found, and his girlfriend walks in and sees it, and I thought it would be really nice to include this, and I'm not 100% sure if it is in the round building. I know that there's like round buildings in Snowpiercer. I'm not sure if this is what's in them, but we did see one of them, and one of them definitely was like a generator room, so I just decided to make the other one into this like little science-y room. I don't know, I just thought that would be like a nice thing to make it, and it made the most sense because I didn't have anywhere else to actually put it, so I thought, you know, that'll work. But yeah, you'll have to let me know like what your favorite part of this build is, because as I have said, I really like the council area, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of different opinions. Now, we're finally moving on to doing the bedrooms. Now, the bedrooms also have a bathroom, and originally you'll see me do it without a bathroom, but then I end up quickly adding one because I was like, you know what, I feel like they would want a bathroom in here. Now, in terms of the show, I don't actually know how the sleeping arrangements are. I know that most of New Eden is the tail, so it would make sense if they were in a room like this, because this is the kind of room that they had in, of course, Snowpiercer, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like this. But I feel like some people have like single rooms. Like I feel like people like Ruth probably have their own room, like Alex probably has her own room. So I don't really know. I don't know if maybe like just the tail share and then there's like separate individual rooms for other people. I actually have no idea. My interpretation was just, let's do a big room for like all of, you know, the people that live here, the tailies and such, and then I like to imagine any other bedrooms would just be off site, because as I said, there is a few like cars I wasn't able to fit just because you know, the lot was not big enough. This is the biggest lot in the game. I'm pretty sure it's a 50, it's a it should be a 64 by 64, I'm sure. I tried to build it on a pretty big lot. I can't remember if this is 64 or if this is 50. I want to say it's 64 by 64. I feel like I tried to build it on the biggest lot. I don't think I've mentioned, I am building this in Windenburg. Windenburg has two 64 by 64 lots, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm building in the world of Windenburg. I can't believe I hadn't mentioned that. I usually say it at the very beginning, but I think I was too excited by the Snowpiercer aspect. But anyway, so I end up building the bathroom in here, and this is a very interesting bathroom. It's like very cool, you'll see. So at the back of the bathroom, we have showers. I think there's like 6-7 showers. There's 3 toilets, and then there's 2 sinks, but this works so nicely. Now bear in mind, you do kind of have to walk past the toilets to get to the showers. However, I feel like it's okay. Like, they're all very close. It's fine. Like, I feel like maybe guys and girls go in at separate times to make it a little bit more, what's the word, like, private? I don't know. Maybe there's like a curtain or such that they pull over. I don't know. I didn't think about it. I think you could probably put a curtain in that little, like, shower area. I actually might do that before I upload it to gallery, like add some curtains. I think that would make that look a bit nicer now that I'm looking at it back. But anyway, we've finally moved on back to the Kenza area. So as you can see, I'm putting in these circular ones, and I'm like adding in little circle tables, and yeah, I love how this looks. I'm so excited about this video, you guys, and I feel like I've not uploaded a lot of speed builds recently. I've been really getting into CAS. I've been doing I did my shell challenge. I really want to do another shell challenge. That was so much fun, you guys. I love partaking in shell challenges, and I loved hosting that one that I hosted. So yeah, I'm hoping to do more. But I want to relax. I want to do a little bit of chill building. Now, if you don't know, I do have like a job that I go to on a daily basis, and I work pretty long hours. Like, they're 9-hour shifts. I work from essentially like 9 to 6. So I don't have loads and loads of spare time, and I feel like speed builds is the best thing for me because I can come home, I can kind of like chill, you know, eat dinner, and then I can film. And sometimes that's a lot easier than filming my CAS videos. Although I love CAS, I love it so much, it's definitely harder for me to film because I can only film it if I have time off, which is really unfortunate. Like, I wish that wasn't the case, but it unfortunately is. But you guys, I mean, we are in the like autumn fall season now. My work is already decorated for Halloween. Don't even like, I came in and it was covered in cobwebs and spiders, and I'm like, you guys did this, you know what, I'm rolling with it. I love Halloween, like, let's bring it. But yeah, so it's finally like almost spooky season. Spooky season is in a month though, so I can finally do fall builds, autumn builds, whatever you want to call them, and I can also do Halloweeny builds in a month. I'll probably do them sooner, let's be honest. I can't control myself. Last year, I feel that I did them very late, and I want to do them a lot earlier this year. So hopefully you guys want to see that. I think it'll be really fun to get those out. And then, you know, then we move on to the Christmassy months, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I feel like that's very far down the line as of right now, so we're just going to focus on the upcoming months. I'm really wanting to do some fall builds. I think that will be my next one. I will probably be uploading the collab video very soon. So the collab that I done, by the way, if you were wondering what I was talking about, I posted it on my Instagram, but I hadn't actually posted it on here yet, just because I haven't had a whole lot of time, otherwise I would have. But the collab that I was in was the Sims 4 Fun Summer collab, and that was hosted by Stella Builds and Jen Loves to Build. Now, that is all over on my Instagram. Make sure to check it out. I will be talking about it in more detail, of course, when I do the video, but that build should be coming out very soon, and then hopefully we can get to those autumn builds. It probably makes sense for me to upload the summer build before an autumn build, you know, just so I'm not like switching back and forth. But anyway, talking back about this build, I personally really I'm loving how this like footage has turned out. I kind of sometimes get stressed out because I'm like watching my footage back and I'm like, this is all over the place, and I feel like this is all over the place, but in the best way. Now I've moved on to this like little what's it, so this is like the kind of clothing store. This is where you would get stuff. This is where you, like, you know, if you need a warm winter jacket, which you will definitely in this scenario, you can get it, and everything's free, but there is like a cashier just because they need to, I guess, watch over. There's probably limitations because everything's free. Maybe you can only get like a certain amount of something, like it's very rationed, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought that would be really nice, so I just made this cute little area. There's really not much special to it, unfortunately. I wish there was more to it, but I didn't clutter it insanely. I don't actually know why. I just didn't. Sometimes I'm like that for some reason. For the most part I love clutter, but sometimes I'm not feeling it in certain areas, which is completely fine. But I added these little coat racks and stuff, and then yeah, I didn't even add rugs. I guess I was just feeling it. But yeah, sometimes I think about like going back and changing things, but at the same time I'm like, I feel like I did certain things for a reason. So sometimes less clutter is better, Hannah, okay? I'm just in that very like clutter is everything mode, and it's like, no, you can make a good build without loads of clutter, but I wouldn't know what that's like because all I know how to do is make clutter. Anyway, we are moving on to the other generator room, so I decided to just make this another generator room. It's not the exact same, but it's like very similar. And then for the small room, I did just copy and paste it because I didn't really know what else to put, and I also felt like it was nicely decorated and it made sense. So yeah, I felt like that would be okay. Let me know if you agree. But yeah, by the way, if you hear my throat like go away or my voice tremble, it's just because it's such a long voiceover. I feel like when I do these, I'm like, oh, I just need a breath. But also I can talk for a very long time, which I think is good that I do YouTube, because I can talk for ages. Like I can talk without tiring myself out, which you can probably tell. But yeah, just if you hear like my throat, that is just why. But anyway, we're moving on to the other car. Now I love this one so much. Now this ends up being a kitchen. I didn't actually mention that. So this is a kitchen and office areas. Now the way I was thinking this works is the other desks and stuff we have in the other buildings are for like specifically the engineers, whereas these ones are not. These are for like people that are just working and maybe working things out and just like doing other things around the place. So they're not used for the same thing. There still might be like sciencey people in here, or engineers might use this workspace, but it's not really for them. It's more like a work environment. And in here there's a little like staff room, and then on the outside there's a kitchen, and the kitchen can be used by anyone, so that is kind of the community kitchen. You'll see me decorate that in just a moment. And then below, like the bottom floor to this, is the hospital and the school, and I love how they turned out. I'm really excited for you to see them because I think they look so good. But yeah, this is the little like staff area. I think it's really nice. I think it worked out really well. You have to let me know. I wanted everything to feel very like put together, but also still have this kind of, I don't know, rustic feel to it, because you know we're in this post-apocalyptic situation, but they have stuff, which is what I was saying before. So you need to kind of go about it a certain way, but I think I did an okay job. You'll have to let me know. But here is the community kitchen. So I love this kitchen so very much. I think it just feels so nice and warm and inviting, and I feel like this is such a good place for your Sims to just like make themselves some food for the day and chill, especially if you want to use this build, by the way. Like if you want to use this build, first of all, my gallery ID is just iHanza, so feel free to download it off of my gallery. But everything should work, and you should be able to fit a lot of Sims in here, especially with mods. You'll be able to fit like quite a lot of Sims because of the amount of beds that I used. But I found these little posters, and these are from the Strangerville pack, and oh my god, these are like so fun, and they are so perfect for Snowpiercer because they have like the suits, and in Snowpiercer they have to wear suits to go outside. Obviously not for New Eden, but I was thinking maybe it says something like if it is below such and such degree, you know, you must wear suits to exit, or you know, you must not go outside without a suit, and if they don't have suits, then don't go outside. But yeah, so I decided to put a little like brunch table up here as well, and I just thought that worked really well. And then I think I just put some seats, and that's pretty much it for this. And then I think we move on to the school and the hospital, which are really fun. I felt like it was very important to have a school because in Snowpiercer, the actual train, I don't know if I'd said, but like some people are still on the train and some people are on like New Eden, but on the actual train they have a school, and it's so cute. It's just like a car, and it's a school. Now in the show, it's definitely not this big. Like the carriages are not this big. That is something I will say. I made them bigger just for functionality purposes, but they wouldn't be this big. They'd be a lot smaller, but I feel like it still works really well for what it is. Although saying that, I think the way the school one was like, it wasn't necessarily smaller. It was just in a different type of car. But this is actually not Snowpiercer. This is Big Alice, and Big Alice is the prototype to Snowpiercer, so she's bigger. So keeping in mind this is Big Alice, and this is probably an accurate size because it's bigger than Snowpiercer, but it's not too big. So actually, I think this is pretty good. I think this is actually pretty good sizing. And they had a school on Snowpiercer, so I figured maybe they would put one on Big Alice just because they need children that live in New Eden to, you know, be learning stuff. I don't know if there is many children, but I know there's some, so I think it's good for them. But anyway, yeah, this is like the little school area, and it's just so cute. I feel like this is so nice for the kids to just like learn, and you know, I don't know if there'd be this many students, but I thought it was a nice thing to add. But this is just a nice place for them to like express themselves, learn. They probably learn all about the freezing stuff and like how to prevent this from happening in the future, which is very fun. I like to imagine the kind of things that they learn about. You do see little like bits of it in the show, but yeah, you don't see it too often, so I feel like it's just a nice thing to think about. But anyway, I love the school area so much. I really enjoyed building this. This was just so much fun. I did do a room challenge recently, and it was for the Fae Moon shell challenge. That is just someone that I follow on Instagram, and they're absolutely amazing. Make sure to check out my Instagram and like check them out, and you'll see the little room challenge that I did for that shell. But yeah, I ended up doing a classroom, and I've just been loving doing classrooms. I don't know why. Something's telling me that I need to make a school, but let me know, guys. Would you want to see me do a school? I have been wanting to do it for a very long time, but I've kind of been putting myself off because I'm like, can I do a school? Like, I don't know if it's within my capabilities. I'm going to be honest. I feel like I have limits, which I shouldn't, because I should be branching out and doing as much as I can, but I feel like I struggle with certain things. But if you guys would want to see me like make an attempt at making a school, please let me know. I don't know if that's something that maybe isn't in demand anymore just because High School Years has been out for so long, but I imagine people that like gameplay and stuff and want to play with schools would maybe want that. I don't know, you'll have to let me know. Please tell me what you think. I am more than happy to hear your suggestions. But anyway, we are doing the little hospital room right now. I love this so much. I think it turns out so lovely. and it's just like the absolute perfect space for a hospital to be. It's obviously not very big, but I feel like it's big enough that you can fit everything they need. I also put like a cribs in it because I thought that, you know, this would be really cute. I know that they're not really having like children within Snowpiercer, but I feel like this is something that they have on, you know, just in case, like just in case they do happen to have kids. And yeah, it's just the perfect space for Dr. Pelton. But anyway, we are now moving on to this room, which ends up being the dining space, and then the last room, which ends up being the what is that called? Chemist. Essentially, I just wanted like a big community dining space where your Sims can sit and chill and eat food, because there is a kitchen and there is a table up there, but obviously if you're playing with lots of Sims, you'll need a lot of seats. And also, if you want to play with this as a community lot, it would be really cool because you could have them in here. Now, I don't know what community lot you would set this to. That's the only thing, because it doesn't, I don't think it fits the requirements for much, but you could even make it a community space or something like that if you wanted to, and just have it so Sims can come and go. It's completely up to you. It depends what your form of gameplay is, if you do gameplay. I haven't done gameplay in a very long time, so I feel like it's hard for me to tell you, but if you play with mods and you wanted to play with like multiple Sims, like I'm talking like 20 Sims, this would probably be ideal, even to just be used as a residential. But if not, I'm thinking like community space could be really nice. But yeah, I thought this was cool. I added a little map. I thought that was so fun because like they probably would have a map, I don't know. I tried to add pictures that is like kind of reminiscent, people being like, this was before the freeze, this was before this and this happened, like pretty fun. But yeah, and then I just added a whole bunch of like bookshelves along the way. There's a little like cafeteria bit so they can actually order the food. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this little area, and then we move on to the medical, the kind of like chemist. Now this was so fun. I essentially just stocked up all of the shelves, made it look like a chemist like area, and yeah, it's very cute, very tedious, I will say. It was very hard to like put everything in, but we got there and it was really good. Now, by the way, guys, please let me know if you know any like good shows, because Snowpiercer is like coming to an end, and I don't know if I'm prepared. I don't know if I am prepared. Okay, they keep killing off characters that I like, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not gonna lie, I know this is maybe the final season. I'm kind of hoping for another season. I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing with it, and I'm scared, okay? I'm scared that they're gonna kill off all my favorite characters, but yeah, I'm very scared. But let me know if you know any like good shows that are up and coming, because, or even old shows that I maybe possibly have not seen. I have seen a lot of really good ones, but I feel like I want to watch just so much more. I've been in a very like movie mood recently. I feel like I need to watch some movies. Do you ever get into that kind of like vibe where you're just like, I want to chill and watch movies? Although I always feel like the idea of, I say this all the time, like I don't think I've said it on YouTube, but the idea of relaxing is so much nicer than actually relaxing. Does that sound crazy? Like, I don't know, like when I think about relaxing, I'm like, that's so nice, but when I actually sit down to relax, I'm like, I have my brain going at like 1,000,000 miles per hour. Does anyone else get that way? I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I definitely get that way. I feel like with the way I schedule YouTube, I try and schedule it so I'm like not doing it all the time, and I'm doing it within like, I don't know, like I've got set hours to do certain things. But see, at the same time, I also feel like with YouTube it's hard because you're kind of always doing things to do with YouTube. Like for me, it will be like promoting my video on Instagram, you know, letting people know it's uploaded, talking to my Discord, which I'll link in the description if you do want to join that, like uploading things from recent builds and just anything like that. I feel like the brain does not turn off, but I honestly love it. I absolutely love doing YouTube. I can't even explain it. It's such a nice feeling to just do something like this. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. If you're ever thinking about like starting up a YouTube channel, you should. Like, you should just go for it. I don't know why I became super inspirational all of a sudden, but I just feel like I digress. But you know, everything just came to my head there. But anyway, and this is the little seating area, which I love. I also end up doing a little like consult room, just for if anyone has any private issues they want to speak about. They can go in there with one of the doctors and talk about it. But yeah, I created this little waiting space. I feel like this is a chemist, but also like doubles up as like a opticians and things like that. So it's kind of like a mixture of everything at once. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this area. And then I just do the little consult room. I think it looks really nice in here. I feel like it actually gives off like realistic, it gives off like doctor room vibes, which obviously I wasn't really going for. I was more going for like chemist, but it gives off like doctor waiting room. We just need those little toys, the little wooden ones where you push them along the strings. That is what I'm missing from here. But anyway, we are sadly coming to the end of this video. You're probably very glad to hear that. But I want to say a massive thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, subscribe if you aren't already, because I really appreciate it and it helps me out so much. It's also free, so you know, why not? If you enjoyed the content, may as well subscribe. But yeah, comment down below, let me know what you think of this show, what you think of this build, anything you'd like to see me do next, if you enjoy recreations of things, or if you prefer, you know, like, I don't know, unique builds, which of course I am still doing, so don't worry about that. So you don't need to worry about that. I of course will always be doing like my little, what is it called, like unique builds from scratch. But this is something that I really wanted to build, and so I don't know if it's going to be an ongoing thing. I don't know if I'm going to continuously be doing like, you know, things that are taken from shows and stuff. But yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think. I really do appreciate your guys' opinions, so whatever you say I will definitely take on board. But yeah, I hope you all have such an amazing day, and yeah, I hope you enjoy watching me like try and size up this thing, because I struggle with the tool mod. I still struggle with it to this day. I've had it for so long, I still struggle with it, guys. But anyway, long-winded goodbye, but thank you all so much, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.